Festus Keyamo, spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, joins me now on the news to speak on the development. Good to see you, Festus, and thanks for your time. Now, you claim Peter Obi was planning to fake his assassination attempt. Could you, if you will, tell us what informed this weighty claim?
Thank you very much. The crux of that statement, which we issued yesterday, was that there was a trending video by Peter Obi whereby he read a statement. He gave his phone to another colleague or an associate of his to read out a statement. And he claimed that that statement, which was a WhatsApp message, was purportedly made by a certain Tinubu group. And he himself, not even his associate, it was himself that mentioned the name of my candidate, my principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he said that message emanated from us, from our group. And that message, the crux of that message was that the message was calling on all Yorubas not to vote for Peter Obi. And that if they vote for Peter Obi, then automatically they are voting for a seaport in the South and the Southeast or something like that. And that all of a sudden the Igbos would even leave Lagos and Lagos would lose. Now, the origin of that message has been discovered to actually come from one of his own supporters who pasted that message on Facebook.
Has that been established? Festus Keyamo?
The name of the supporter is Powell Glad Legbe. I repeat, Powell Glad Legbe. Everybody should go to his Facebook page and look at his previous messages supporting Peter Obi and supporting IPOB. P-O-W-E-L-L, then another name Glad, G-L-A-D, and another name L-E-G-B-E. That's Powell Glad Legbe. Now, this is a message that he now purported, a whole presidential candidate, he now purported to now say that it was from a Tinubu group. Now, tell me, how are we not going to react to that kind of message? Sulai, do you expect us as a responsible presidential campaign council to keep quiet to that kind of inciting message from a presidential candidate? Was it not condescending enough for a presidential candidate to come on video to make that kind of message in a country where we are managing to keep our fault lines together, keep ourselves together, make that kind of incendiary comment and then post it everywhere for everybody to see?
Let me jump in here, Festus, before I let you continue. Just earlier on my show, Village Square Africa, I had a chat with Tanko Yunusa, who's the spokesperson of the Third Force Coalition of the Labour Party, and this is what he had to say concerning the allegation.
You see, the interesting thing about this is that they play this politics sending wrong signal. They tell the story that our own story for us, just to create a kind of a shadow on top of us. But the simple fact is that there was no anything. I was with Peter Obi yesterday at the Nigerian Labour Congress and TUC retreat. So who is telling the story? And then you come out and say something that we didn't say. Anything that will not come from our mouth is not from us. So you just create it just to send names and then get the kind of a popularity that you are looking for. Because the mentioning of Peter Obi gives you room for popularity. Just the mentioning. Now, I want you to look at it, Suleiman. Since we started this campaign, have you ever heard Peter Obi mentioning the name of any candidate?
Well, I'd like to react to that. I'll also want to ask if there's been any formal complaint to the authorities, because these are very weighty allegations. Have you been able to put this before the security agencies?
Let me finish the explanation. It's very important I finish, Sule. Now, I just heard what he said. And what he said flies in the face of the actual video that I sent to even your news house yesterday. I don't know how they can tell lies openly. Peter Obi in the video mentioned the name of Tinubu. He said that message was from Tinubu's group. So our reaction was based on the fact that how could Peter Obi open his mouth and accuse my principal and his group of inciting tribal hatred against a part of the country? And so we were bound to react. So they should not deflect the message. The central theme of that message, Sulai, was the video that he made. All of these claims about assassination and all that is a deflection on the main issue. And I'm going to talk about the assassination claim. Now, I have mentioned the name of the person who generated that message. And up till now, they have not come to apologize. Now, our take on this was that Peter Obi deliberately and his supporters generated that message, and then they wanted to look like the victims, as if they were under some kind of attack, by tribal bigots. Whereas Peter Obi himself is the tribal bigot here. He's the one that's trying to pass a message over to Nigerians. He's the one that's trying to spin the tribal tale. But he made that video cleverly to appear as if he's the victim. Now, when we refuted that, based on Facebook messages by his supporters, claiming that he had been attacked, that his car was riddled with bullets, just go and look at Facebook. And for those who don't know my Twitter handle, go and look at Keyamo. I pasted the evidence today on my timeline on Twitter. I said, these are his supporters claiming that he was attacked when he was never been attacked. And so
and quickly before we have other bulletins to take, but quickly here, Keyamo, so that we can establish this and let it go, because we'll have a larger time for you sometime subsequently. Has this been taken before the security agencies? Because when we talk about assassination attempt, if it is a make-up case, this must be reported. Is your party doing that?
Understand the story. There's no assassination attempt. It is fake. It's a fake attempt that they plan to generate. So there's even nothing to report because it is a fake attempt. If they want to report at all, it is him that we are going to report. And if you see my reaction to their claim this evening, to their call, they are calling on security agencies to put me under security watch and arrest me. And in my response, I said they should arrest Peter Obi. And I'm prepared to go to the station, go to the DSS with him and be a witness, because he and his supporters, some of them, are planning to cause tribal and religious war and crisis in this country. And we are ready to keep the peace. We are ready to use legality to cure their illegality.
And lastly, if we can do this before I let you go, do you think your party is worried about the growing popularity of the Labour Party candidate?
There's popularity there. We are not worried about anything. We're only worried about the demented stage, and excuse my language, but that is the truth. The overexcitement and demented stage of some of their supporters who think they can threaten anybody, come and abuse people, and they cannot take half of what they give to people. They don't know that these campaigns are not like that. And I'm saying this because they are just neophytes on the political terrain. Most of the supporters are neophytes. They don't know how they play politics. We play politics by the books and by the rules, and we're prepared to play by the rules. But all of this they are doing, you cannot insult your way to the villa. You must talk to people, you must convince them, but they want to insult their way to the villa. And we want to tell them that
I'd like to thank you for your time, Festus Keyamo.
And tonight, I want to tell them that we are ready for them, inch by inch, all the way, day by day. We are ready for them till election day. We are ready.
Thank you, Festus Keyamo.